men's basketball, what is the biggest impact on you?
Well, it doesn't get any better. Access to recruits in the Northeast, access to recruits in Texas that want to play in the best basketball conference in the country, but not have to leave home. And then financially, be able to have bigger budgets, recruiting, travel, the whole deal. So it's Madison Square Garden. I mean, I grew up in New York and going to games in the Garden, and we're going to be right in the middle of it. I was at Notre Dame. I know the league, I know the landscape, and it's going to be very exciting for SMU basketball.
Is it hard for a North Carolina grad to say that the Big East is the best basketball conference in the country?
Not when I get paid by a school in the Big East.
How do those with Syracuse and Pitt leaving for the ACC, how do you see the two going up against each other? The
two leagues. I think there's always going to be tremendous balance. I think recently the Big East was better. I think especially in sheer depth of quality, where the ACC had fewer teams, and the teams at the top were great. But the depth, when you talk about the team that was, I think, in 9th place in the league, winning the national championship in UConn, that says something about the league.
Yeah.
Is there a specific Big East style of basketball that your program's going to have to adjust to as you go?
I'd like to hope that they could adjust to us. We're not going to change much. We play a lot like Georgetown. Notre Dame, we had success. The thing at Notre Dame, we had shooters. We had a great inside player, but we had shooters. We played a zone at Notre Dame. We'll play our matchup zone. We'll play our offense, and our offense is a lot like Georgetown, and Georgetown has pretty good success. So I like to be different. I don't want to be like everybody else. But I think the neat thing about the Big East is they do have different types of teams. Syracuse, with Syracuse leaving, but Syracuse was the zone team. UConn was the pressing team. Notre Dame was the shooting team. Georgetown ran the Princeton offense. So you had your share of variety. Villanova ran 4-guard offense. So there is variety, which as a coach I kind of like because it's stimulating to go against good coaches and different styles of play.
I know you talked about this before, but right now you all have, I guess, what they say, 18 months until you all get into the Big East, and you have a lot of young players right now. How do you see that, transforming to be ready? Will they be ready?
I think it'll be good because I think when you look at our class, Jeremiah and Nick Russell, who's not playing, but Nick came from Kansas State, he's a very talented guard. Those guys will be seniors. Jalen Jones, Cannon Cunningham will be juniors. The young foundation of our program will be juniors and seniors. And then we have a very good recruiting class coming in, a kid named Blaze Bargorber, who is a top 100 recruit, 7-footer, can really shoot. So Brian Bernardi from New York, and Uche Afuebu. So I like our recruiting class. And the thing is, we do have a style, we do have a system. At Notre Dame, we had juniors and seniors, and Mike Bray talks about that now. I want juniors and seniors that can pass, handle, and shoot the basketball. And I think sometimes when you have juniors and seniors going against some, kind of all-American freshmen and sophomores that expect to go to freshmen and sophomores that expect to go to the NBA, one and done, your experience and maturity and being in a system for 3 and 4 years can overcome maybe some perceived lack of talent, especially at first. And then we'll catch up talent-wise because, again, I've recruited in the Big East and I've seen different campuses. And, John, the commissioner, said he just left Providence. It was 19 degrees. Right. Get a recruit to come down here and it's 60. It's a beautiful place. And now we'll have access to more and more players.
I guess you can pitch the perfect weather.
I know how to pitch. Exactly.
You mentioned your incoming recruits, specifically the 2 guys from the East Coast. How much of your recruitment of those guys went beyond the academics and the campus and the city, and specifically talked about the Big East and the chance to go play in front of their own?
Well, the Big East did not happen until after they signed. The Big East was announced in December. They signed in November. So we didn't really sell the Big East because it was not tangible. We talked about going to a BCS conference, and we weren't sure what conference that would be. It just so happened to be the Big East, which for me and men's basketball really couldn't have been a better fit.
You mentioned a BCS Conference, which is a football term, and you're a basketball coach. What is that dynamic like, being kind of a little bit second fiddle to football, but in this way it worked out that you're going to a great basketball conference?
Well, you know, it was Billy Donovan was second fiddle to Urban Meyer. Mike Bray's second fiddle to Brian Kelly. We understand as coaches that at most places now football's driving the train. We understand that. So you want to be a part of a football program that's in the BCS Conference, unless you're a team like Gonzaga, some teams like in the Atlantic 10. You have to be in those niche conferences, Missouri Valley. You know, those are three good conferences that are non-BCS, but having BCS, you have BCS money. So now you have BCS facilities, you have BCS budgets, and, you know, more teams will go to the NCAA tournaments from a BCS, you know, 11 from the Big East. You know, I'd like to hope that at some point we can get to top 11 of the Big East Conference.
Right.
So we understand as as basketball coaches that, you know, I don't mind, you know, I don't mind riding the coattails of June Jones in football. There's plenty for us to, you know, take advantage of, and you see that at a lot of places. I mentioned Florida being one of them. They've won back-to-back national championships in basketball at a perceived football school.